let's recap what we've learned so far about the last few weeks of play against other teams. When we faced 7th Cav, we realized we cannot have 3 squads with 6 players. That's it. We need to split up the squads. And that's just a requirement. That's something necessary to our play style. It's just how it works. Now, when we played against Tall, we had at the squad lead level some of the worst communication I've ever heard. It felt like a bombardment of non-stop nonsense talking. Like some of it was useful communication, but a lot of it was just people saying the same thing on top of each other constantly. So this discussion kind of revolves around how to be able to take the communication that we use and the pings that we use in game and be able to distribute them out in a way that makes the most sense logistically and communication wise. So minimal vocal communication while still maximizing all the information that we're putting out as far as like our intentions go. And I always come back to like this example command structure, command comms breakdown. This is what 7 Cavs use, and I don't intend to copy them by any means. But what I do intend to do is to use this as like a platform for communication. So we have a commander at the top. Even if he's not actually playing commander, we have somebody who leads, who dictates strategy, who commands the entire communication lines, right? We have the various squads. Now the squads are actually composed of fire teams. Remember, because we do have, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie squads, but inside those squads, we don't want to have, 6, 12, 18, or 6, 5, 6, with the commander being one of these 5s, because we ran into the same issue as we did against 7 Cav, where if we lost 1 OP, 6 guys are out of the fight. So what are we going to do? We're going to split this into a two-team fire team leader squad. So this will probably be 1 or 2 guys. This will be 2. This will be 2. Or 2, 3, 1. Right? Same thing here. We might have a recon team, so it might be 2, 2, 2. These types of numbers are going to be played with. Even if we did 4 squads or 5 squads, we run into the same issue, which is communication. How do we communicate from this squad leader to this fire team leader? How do we do that? And what happens is, let's start to use pings. So let's say we're going here to rail crossing. Get my crayon going. Perfect. So we go into rail crossing. We're attacking. We are here. We're trying to push into here. We see an enemy here. What do? Ping, 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 ping. Right? Everybody's used to pinging. As a side note, if your ping is not on your mouse, it should be. But if everybody pings and you're a 2-man squad, how does another squad over here even realize that there might be a guy here, or more importantly, a guy here? So that's really ultimately the question that we're trying to resolve here, right? So we need to start using all the other pings. I'll let loose pings. Let me see if I can get a list. Actually, I don't even need to do that. Let's go straight into game. Okay, so as that's loading up, I will continue to draw. The concept is basically very simple. We need to do 2 things, is mark intention and remark other people's intention for our squad. So enemy infantry is like one thing that we're going to constantly be using. When someone else marks enemy infantry that is within your viewpoint, you mark enemy infantry at that same view. That way everybody in your squad can visualize where the enemy infantry is at, and then ping on top of that enemy infantry mark. And this goes to a grander scale of not just enemy infantry. We need to be marking attack points. So, you know, if we're trying to take Railway Causeway, this is offensive, we're trying to push across, we need to know that somebody is attacking here or attacking here, that this is their intention. Once they reach here, they reposition their attack marker to here to take that position. We have another team that's coming in down here. We have another team that's just defending to cause distraction and defending here. We're observing here. Those marks have to be two things. Number one, accurate, but number two, clean. What I mean by that is if you mark attack here and you're already here, this is complete waste, right? This is a complete waste. There's no reason the attack mark is here. Now everyone's confused as to where that line of communication is. Because we are in two-man squad, the second man can't see this. But 50% of the team can see this. And we're going to have a lot more accurate communication as to what everybody's intention is at each one of these points. All right, guys, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was much better, honestly. In my team, there was a lot of communication, and in every fucking second, we exactly knew where everyone is, where infantry is, where Garys are, and we just didn't talk that much. It was like 10% of verbal communication and 9% of just marking everything on the map.
I think that does well. Oh, sorry, Teflon, go on.
No.
I think using the pings, like since we had such we were actively reacting, like we were proactive about it, and that enabled us to trade kills. That's why if someone would go down or something like that, you have the pings of the enemy and then you see them fall. Since we had so many pings up, we were able to basically just be trading kills. If I were to die, some Teflon could kill him, or vice versa, stuff like that. So I think that really helped in terms of point control.
100% agreed on that, on both of those points, guys. I mean, I think Command Chat for having 6 squad leads was probably the quietest any 6-person team has ever been.
Yep, at one moment, Voice said to me, "Man, we gotta communicate just a bit." I mean, it was that quiet.
And that's where it's going to grow. So that's the baseline. The baseline is like we just proved we can play the game without any sort of discussion, and we're still communicating a ton of information, and we only gave really critical information when necessary. When you guys were taking the point at the end there, I got shot crossing the field because I'm looking at my map when I shouldn't be. And I immediately had a defend marker already at my location, so I just told Able Squad, hey, enemy infantry at dog defend marker. And so he knew exactly what I was talking about. All right, let's let's recap. One last point is two things. Number one, at the beginning, we had a lot of great move and defend and attack markers, and by the end of it, we were kind of just maintaining enemy infantry markers. And some of them were clean, some of them were slightly too old. That's something that's going to be a point of focus moving forward. We're always going to want to keep it as clean as possible, as accurate as possible. But overall, we did a really, really fantastic job. The other point I did want to make is enemy infantry marks are important, but they're a two-way street. You're marking enemy infantry for other squads to be aware of, and for your squad to be aware of, but other squads are marking enemy infantry for your squad to be aware of. How do we mark those enemy infantry marks? That's where the observe mark is going to come into play. The observe mark is only for the commander, and your unit. So other squad leaders cannot see it. So while we were playing, I was thinking about that a little bit. How are we going to go into this public game and be able to institute a system in which, obviously we don't have 6 squad leaders. How are we going to institute enemy markers? And that's how we're going to do it. If it is a friendly enemy infantry mark within your vicinity, mark it with an observe mark for your unit. Any other comments, guys? Any other input? Anything to improve or critiques?
Wait, can you run through that again? The infantry mark
versus
sure. The observe mark.
So when you're a unit here, you're 6 guys, everyone is pinging something, right? These are all little pings. So I'm gonna put G here for, I don't know, for enemy infantry. So that's your enemy infantry mark. If we have another squad, moving to a similar location here, they might also place a G here. So then the red squad leader knows that there's enemies coming from this direction. If he places his G here, it removes this G. We don't want to remove this G, right? We want to keep this G, and we want to also allow our squad to know that there's also enemy infantry in this direction. The only way to do that is by using the observe mark. So I guess observe is for an O is the wrong thing. So I'll use V. So we still have our enemy infantry mark here for other squad leads, and then we have our observe mark here for our unit. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be the technique of using the enemy infantry markers of other squad leaders for our unit. So let's jump into a game.
1 point Docs noted last game. We all had our OPs bunched up, and we were running into you guys just wiping our OPs within one go. We need to spread out our OPs.
Yep, we had that same problem against on AA.
Our unit did a really good job where, as we were coming up, we all marked move markers, we all marked place OP markers, we all placed place garrison markers, and everyone knew exactly where it was going to go. And because we were planning it when we were still in spawn, we were so far ahead of the game, we could all kind of say, okay, he's going to put his OP there without even communicating. And I was like, I'll put my OP a little bit farther away, because you're 100% right. You don't want to put your OP right next to another one, because the same thing's going to happen. They're all going to get wiped out at once. Let's, anything else, guys?
I just want to stress again, I know on our team, when we were talking, we commonly use like the other squad leads' names. I think, going back to we need to refer to them by the squad name specifically, because I mean, a couple people referred by name, and it's like, okay, I don't know where that's at.
Solid point, man. Solid point. And I don't know who said it actually before we even started the game, that the use of I or first perspective is one of the worst things you can do. But that was a great point, and it got revealed in this game a lot. Everybody was saying, okay, they're on my point. I'm going over here. You need to follow me, or things like that. And it's like, we don't know who I is. We don't know who me is. We know who Dog is, and we know who Easy is. Easy squad lead. And we don't even need to say squad lead, because all we can see is the marker, right? So we can just say Easy. So you're 100% right. That's a really, really good point. So here we have this window. Now this window is critical to communication, right? You need to get used to where enemy infantry is. This is what we're going to practice. Is basically pinging enemy infantry immediately. Pinging enemy infantry immediately. So every other squad around you is just as cognizant of that mark. And same thing here. We're saying we're going to take eastern position. Well, I'm going to mark that I'm going to move here and attack here. That lets everyone know. Now, the other big thing is I do this a lot. I hope your guys' marks and map key is key binded to somewhere that you are constantly pressing it without affecting your movement key. Because you need to be cleaning the map constantly. Okay, this mark's not needed. No need for that attack mark. We're going to change tactics into observe here and defend here. So we're defending this location, looking towards this, because we believe enemies are coming from there with a possible enemy garrison at this back location. So that's what we're practicing today, guys. We're practicing pinging. We're practicing communication at a very small scale. Everyone's going to be on one team in their own squad and just practicing pinging. So we're going to start with everybody on one side, and then we'll transfer to 6v6 while maintaining that. But first, I want to get as many questions as possible, or concerns, comments, or anything from you guys.
real quick. I know if you guys play with me, you guys will know how I operate. Definitely, most important thing: ping fuck infantry. It's fucking super important. It's awesome. It's super easy to do. If your ping button is not like on your middle mouse button, that's a super easy place to put it. Like I think it's default. Put middle mouse button, just click it. You know, you're aiming, you can click on it. The other thing is utilizing like the observe mark, the defend mark, the attack mark. I use that all the time. Let's say a recon goes up, and there's 3 different points of interest. I will verbally call out, hey, attack. There's 5 guys in attack mark, 4 guys there. Like you got to identify what it's at. Observe mark is like, there's 2 tanks. I mark the first tank, the second tank. I put an observe mark on it, so that way my HE guys like know what to correlate. So the pings are super important. I use them all the time in competitive matches. So definitely, if you're not using them, like those different pings just besides the main like middle mouse button default ping, start using them because they're super crucial. Like for to have a team-wide push on like let's say like Hill 400 or something, you have to be able to ping stuff to communicate without having to scream in command chat.
That's a really good point, 12. 100%. Anybody else?
Don't scream in command chat. I just want to second that.
Yeah, scoff. I mean, that's and that goes back to the conversation that I started this with, which is verbal communication is meant to be kept to an absolute minimum, especially in competition level. There's no, oh shit, I died, or oh shit, I think they're coming from this direction, or oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. Like that shit needs to get cut out. If it is not actionable information in the quickest way possible, it does not need to be communicated. And that's just plain and simple at the competition level what's necessary to be able to verbalize enough information fast enough without muddying the water. Because yeah, Taw was a disaster. 12, can you tell them about how bad that last game with Taw was?
Oh yeah. So basically, yeah, communication was at some points non-existent completely. And at other times, it was just an earful. Like you could not hear yourself talk at some points. You're getting shot at. You have people screaming in command chat, and at some points it was dead quiet. Like I was pushing the west. Teflon was pushing east. I think Goku was doing the same, and our attack basically broke down, and we had no communication. And then when we were trying to reestablish something, it came in waves of just nothing to just everyone talking at the same time. So this is a great system to be able to alleviate that and, just make a quick ping, on the map that way to communicate without having to, as Teflon said, muddy the water and things like that. So that's why communication is so important because we got our asses beat the second game because of it.
Yeah, I can 100% agree with that because at one moment against Dahl, when we were on the Axis side, I was like, guys, our command chat is completely dead. Give me a sit rep. And then Teflon said something and you said something and it was active again, but at one moment just everyone was dead silent.
The other thing to take note of is on the pings. The ping colors and ping systems, certain things people can see. So request a resource node, you can see right in the middle it says visible to commander and unit. And it says construct a resource node at this position. The defend though is visible to commander, other officers, and the unit. The observe is only visible to commander and your unit. So you need to have that differentiation between these different points to understand like what you can see, and who you're trying to communicate it to. So enemy infantry is everybody. Defend, attack, move are all for everybody. Observe though is only for the commander and your immediate unit. But it is something to take in consideration.
I think something with command communication specifically, like if people are asking questions and people are talking about locations, one of the bigger things is using the word "I." It's such a big no-no because nobody cares who you are or what your name is. They just want to know your squad if that's important information.
Yeah, and I think that's going to stretch into a larger discussion about what minimal communication means, right? Alpha enemy infantry. So that immediately lets everyone know to look at your enemy infantry mark if they can see it, or if they're wondering where they're coming from, they can pull up the map, and if you mark it, I see Alpha, Able, whatever you guys are accustomed to saying. okay, I know that that is an accurate mark, that was just placed, and that's where, if I don't know where they're coming from, I'll take a look in that direction. That's a really good point, boys.
Something I was gonna say, back to the point of maps and keybinds. I love looking at the map. I'm checking the map very often, and because of that, I changed my keybind to the left Alt button because it's right next to my thumb, and it's just a quick tap to bring it up and get rid of it. Just if anyone wants to try that out.
That's a good point. I play TFGH, so my hand is in the middle of the keyboard, and my
What?
yeah, it's strange to get used to, but once you get used to it, you have so many more options for buttons, and so M is my map, and so it's right underneath my thumb, and then comma is my lean left, and period is my lean right. So I'd never have to take my fingers off the move keys, any of the move keys, or the crouch key, while touching all of them.
I still use a WASD, but I still use M because I do play with my keyboard at like a 45-degree angle. So just the way my hand sits on the keyboard, it's like right next to my thumb.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
As long as you have something that works for you and is easily acceptable, like that left alt keybind, I might start using that. Like I think that's good. I don't even know if I even use left alt for anything. But yeah, definitely just try to have it key bound to something, something quick and accessible that you can do it, half second look at.
Awesome, guys. Let's cycle into the attack server. And everybody come to Axe's side.
What's the password?
Attack team, all lowercase, one word.
So is for just the squad leads, are they going to be talking specifically just to command? And what I mean by that is are they going to be sending like? I'm trying to think of a way that you could limit people talking too much in squad chat.
Yeah, it's and that was like what I think it was Voice that was brought it up. It's going to lead to a larger discussion about what is necessary communication and how we structure our communication channels. As you saw in that one document that I pulled up at the beginning, you have the different fire teams, and so those fire teams are only in the Discord, and they talk to the other fire team members. And what they do is
okay.
all the squad leads, they mute each other in the Discord, and they only talk in command chat when talking to each other. So it's an interesting technique, which is it's viable. It's just whether or not that's what we decide to go with. It's just going to be a matter of deciding that down the road.
Well, it's going to be tough to do if it's push to talk.
I'm not on push to talk.
I'm not
Oh.
either.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was mandatory.
I think that was yesterday.
Are we all doing our own locked squad right now?
Yep,
Well,
everybody create your own lock squad, and we're just gonna take 10 minutes and try to move on to the next point as a team while just constantly pretending like shadow boxing, but shadow fighting.
So are you guys gonna have something later on about command asking for like sit reps and stuff like that, and people giving can reports, like conditions, action, needs from the squads, or?
Ultimately, the goal is that we don't need them. Unless we have, problems, we don't report it. Because I don't need to know where you're attacking because you have an attack mark down. I don't need to know you're defending a location. I don't need to know where the enemy is coming from if your enemy marker is accurate. I don't need to know those details because I could just take a look at the map because I'm clicking that on and off constantly just for a new situational rep. So that's what That's what I'm talking about when it comes to cutting down verbal communication. If we are all on the same page about our non-verbal communication being at such a high level.
All right.
Can someone pull me over to the other team?
Yeah. That Fallen?
Yeah, it is.
All right, now take a look at the map. Everybody lay down a current attack and a current move mark, and remove all other marks.
Sorry, say again, didn't hear you.
Go ahead and place a move marker, and then go ahead and place an attack marker. And then take a look at the map. Is that not a thing of beauty? Now, do I need to know what Baker Squad is doing? Or, like, do I need to ask you? Like, Baker, what are you doing? No, absolutely not, because I know you're going to move to that location and try to attack across the way. I can just immediately look and I see, okay, what kind of actionable pieces of information does this give me? I realize that we're all too focused on the western flank. Well, I have only Charlie Squad on the eastern flank, and he's only moving to that location and trying to attack from that angle. Maybe I pull, you know, Delta Squad, who's way west, and push him all the way east. Maybe it's easy to push Delta Squad to everybody down the road, you know, and then have House Squad go to Charlie location. But either way, it gives us an exact location and a much better picture of what everyone is focusing. So we're gonna try to take this point, but really try to pretend like we're putting up a fight, and mark where you think enemies would be popping up, and just play it like we would be playing against a real team. You guys hear that? Completely quiet. I don't need to talk to you guys. What kind of information do you guys need? If you know where I'm going, where my intention is, where I see enemies at, and it's constantly being communicated, the most I might do is in local chat say, okay, throwing smoke. Okay, pushing forward. That's the other big one, is local chat. And then make sure you clean up your markers, guys. Make sure that when you pass a certain point, it's no longer on the map to confuse anybody. And when you guys play this game as much as we do, we know, you know, we keep the map open 90% of the time, and then we just put the map away when we know we're about to fight somebody when we come up on a trench line or something.
Yep.
And that's like the great thing about this is I can just look at the map and I see where everybody is going to. And this is gonna become such second nature. We're gonna be just moving and not even talking. So let's get critical here. Who has a critique of this this conversation? Who thinks this is good? Who thinks this is bad?
I just a point of I think a little bit too much map clutter with the move and attack marker, but that's really just when we're bunched up on top of each other. I think just be cognizant of when we're all bunched up.
I think the radio discipline's outstanding this way.
Yeah, if we could do this in an attack match, I mean, for LCSL, I mean, this would be so much easier. Like, we know what they're doing. I know what Teflon's doing on the east if I'm west. I know what Goku's doing in the north. You know, it's great. So I like this. This is a very good idea, and I hope we can implement it.
All right, let's switch to a warfare map, and we're on opposite team, guys. So this whole strategy is we're gonna put it into play. If you communicate, you're gonna let the other team know exactly what you're doing. So you might not want to verbally communicate. You might want to just use your marks.
Also, be advised that your map is being displayed in Discord.
Son of.
Are we just gonna build like garrisons and just fight over center point?
Yeah, we're just gonna build garrisons, fight over center point, just like we normally would, and while still trying to use these tactics.
I'm gonna need to quit and get back in. My game has that glitch where I can't move.
That's super annoying. Yeah, the other day I had a glitch where all I heard was machine gun fire.
Oh, I had that one a long time ago. That one sucks.
I get the glitch for Artie Smoke a lot, like just the sound effect of the hiss.
Yeah, yeah,
Get that a lot.
that glitch is quite often.
Yeah, I have to rejoin
guys
too.
need
I
new
can't move
computers.
around.
I gotta rejoin. My game crashed for the first time.
Holy crap, guys! What is going on? Do you think it was a map change or something?
I have no idea. My game's Hell Let Loose has never crashed on this machine.
My game has been crashing a lot recently. I'm getting like GPU crashes. I've never had a GPU crash in any game before.
Yeah.
It usually happens when I first get into a game, but after I get in, it doesn't happen for the rest of the night.
Yeah. Like if I alt tab, and sometimes we'll crash it.
So we're just building garrisons and fighting over Center Point. No more than that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
No command abilities and whatever kit, or just, I guess all squad lead. Never mind.
Yeah, all squad leads. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
mostly.
we're trying to do like 4 squares, like it's like C5. Like are we just gonna just play around?
Yeah, just play around. I just want to see how much can we communicate without talking, because the other team is listening, so we can't like give away strategy and things like that. So it forces us to use just the markers, and how much information can we gather from just those markers.
Yeah, and can we practice this, but with some infantry inside squads when, for example, riflemen cannot see every marker and everything on the map?
What do you mean?
Like, can we practice this, but like with infantry inside squads? Because in competitive matches we won't have only squad leaders.
Yeah. No,
Like-
this is not how we're gonna run it. No, but it's everyone here should practice this at the same time, and then when we're about to go into pubs after this, we'll pretty much do the exact same thing. We'll probably run 2-man squads. We have 12 guys, so we'll have 6 squads on one team, and we'll just run a 2-man strategy.
Yep, copy.
Guys should learn the job above you as well as below you.
Yes. And that's going to be probably the motif of these practices quite a bit. We're all going to be experts and become experts in every single role, in all the techniques and strategies that are necessary. Interesting that it's this quiet.
Do they know that we've started, y'all? I don't think they know.
Yeah, we did start. Yeah, because we've already taken point.
Restarting Hell Let Loose.
Working my way up there.
Enemy on the hedgerow next to Charlie's OP.
Dead.
Just went down at my defend mark.
Who's my?
Delta.
Gotcha.
Foxtrot OP is red hot. Pushing from south. Main road.
Charlie's moving into where dog died. Or fox died.
We're losing point.
He's down, Teflon, he's dead. He's dead. Fuck, behind.
Good work, good work.
South. To my east, maybe?
I'm down.
Enemy infantry on my left.
Dog infantry mark is accurate. They are west of point behind hedgerow. They're moving in onto the garrison.
Yep, I'm just getting camped.
Neutralize.
Hey, you guys still going?
Yeah. Yes, we are. We are in the event server. Passcode is all lowercase TAC team.
Thanks, Stefan.
No problem, McD.
Teflon, you scared the shit out of these guys. They didn't want to talk to just communicate where enemy, infantry was.
Hopefully they didn't poop their pants.
Infantry on dog immediately neutralized.
Oh, if you guys have even sides, I'll just sit out. No big deal.
No. Go ahead and join. We are working on marking, so just go ahead and try to keep verbal communication, as low as possible, and just use your pings to dictate to where you're going.
In F6. It was by Abel's infantry mark.
Check ping, guys.
Garrison's hot, guys.
Yep, they're definitely pushing for the northwest. See smoke?
I'm moving to. Yep, they're to the west. West of Garrison.
Behind the hedgerow at dog enemy infantry mark.
On Echo, coming through the wheat fields.
right around the corner from you. Grenade.
Possible enemy outpost at Dogmark.
Gary G4 red up. Lighting up.
Infantry approaching the hedgerow on Charlie's mark. Sith, there might be infantry behind you.
There's an OP right in front of me, I marked, and there's infantry on both sides of me. He's still in that hedgerow next to his OP.
Charlie's infantry marker is accurate.
I'm gonna get us to flank Gary in E6.
They're pushing my OP. Try to spawn out before we get to it.
They are pushing from the north. They might have a north garrison. Dog enemy
Hey,
infantry marker is accurate.
Just choke. Just choke. Do you have an extra bandage?
Tough, I'm moving north to go check clear it out for you.
So did I on the hedgerow behind me.
Cleared him off my OP.
Yeah, you were right.
Just took down an enemy OP at our move mark.
Roger.
I think I might move north to echo enemy infantry marker. Possible enemy garrison there.
Moving up on OP right now.
Yep, it just lit up to the north.
You guys are. Oh, sorry.
I didn't get to that OP. The OP is active marker. They have infantry watching it.
Just took out an enemy OP at the supply truck. Looking for Gary.
F, where you just put that infantry mark, I think they have a garrison there.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Doc, can you get that Gary back up?
Roger. He's still here, so he'll be able to take it down again. I killed him, but I think it's OP or Garrison is over here.
Got another Gary up. F5.
Gary up here.
Possible Gary near my OP. G787 line is possible Gary location. Let's put a marker as soon as spawn.
When we hit 1 hour on the play timer, we are going to end this exercise. So 5 more minutes.
3 on my location. I took out 2. Yeah, they're pressing my location pretty hard.
What squad are you?
Echo, I believe. Easy. Yeah, they just took out my OP.
Charlie's mark is an accurate garrison. Garrison on Charlie mark is down.
Outpost on a point, it's getting hot.
Enemy infantry at dog defend mark.
Point.
Supply truck on my location.
Enemy infantry on garrison. On point.
Alpha's infantry marker accurate on point.
Alpha and Easy, your garrison and OP pings are no longer accurate.
Trying
Truck
to smash
pushing
the
the
Gary.
point. Truck stop at that location.
Sith, did you get him?
No, I just took out his OP, but he's here.
Okay, I got him.
Roger that.
Gary's lining up on point. They're throwing smoke at the Gary.
So do we have overtime?
No overtime. 30 seconds left.
Ooh.
Man, I see you on that plane.
You see nothing. It's an illusion.
You fuckers are on both planes.
All the plane action. All right, boys, let's wrap it up.
Smarter, not harder.
Took out another OP in the field.
So let's call it complete there. All right, guys, we are officially done. Let's go ahead and leave the server. Everybody, leave the server.